What if every argument you've ever had, every fight with a partner, every office blow-up, every moment you felt unseen could be transformed into understanding with just a few words? It sounds almost impossible, right? But what if we've been communicating wrong this whole time? What if the real problem isn't what we say, but how we say it? Let's unlock a quiet revolution in the way we connect with others. Introduction. Welcome to AudioBookCAPS, the place where life-changing books are broken down into rich, easy-to-digest episodes you can enjoy anywhere. Today, we're diving into Nonviolent Communication, A Language of Life by Marshall B. Rosenberg, Ph.D. This book isn't just a guide, it's a movement. Originally developed to resolve conflict in war zones, schools, prisons, and boardrooms alike, Nonviolent Communication, or NVC, has helped millions transform the way they speak, listen, and relate. And in a world where shouting often drowns out listening, Rosenberg's message is more vital than ever. In this episode, we'll uncover the 10 powerful principles of NVC, see how they can transform our relationships, and walk through examples that show how empathy, not judgment, is the key to connection. Let's begin. Chapter 1. What is Nonviolent Communication? The Language of Compassion. Marshall Rosenberg starts with a profound truth. What we say next can either enrich life or make it miserable. NVC is not just about being nice. It's a discipline of communication that removes blame, judgment, and guilt, replacing them with connection, clarity, and compassion. The goal? To understand others deeply and express ourselves honestly, without hurting anyone in the process. NVC rests on 4 foundational components. Observation, without judgment or evaluation. Feelings, expressed clearly and not confused with thoughts. Needs, the universal human needs behind those feelings. Requests, clear, actionable, and specific requests, not demands. Think of it like this. Traditional communication often puts people on the defensive. NVC removes the weapons from our words so we can truly connect. Chapter 2. The Power of Observation Without Evaluation. Have you ever heard something like this? You never listen to me. It feels like an attack, doesn't it? Rosenberg teaches that one of the first steps to nonviolent communication is learning to observe what is happening, without mixing in our judgments. For example, you're so lazy. Evaluation. You've been on the couch for 3 hours without moving. Observation. Why does this matter? Because when we mix observation with evaluation, people get defensive. But when we stick to the facts, we give others room to reflect rather than react. Imagine saying, I noticed you didn't respond to my last 3 emails, instead of you're ignoring me. The first invites a conversation. The second shuts it down. Chapter 3. Naming our feelings instead of hiding behind thoughts. Now let's talk about feelings. So often, we say things like, I feel like you don't care. I feel betrayed. But here's the thing, those aren't feelings. They're interpretations. In NVC, Rosenberg urges us to clearly express actual feelings like, I feel sad. I feel hurt. I feel anxious. Why is this important? Because when we blame others for how we feel, they shut down. But when we own our emotions, we open up a path to empathy. Imagine the difference between, you made me feel worthless. When you said that, I felt hurt and insecure. Suddenly, it's not a fight, it's a window into our experience. Chapter 4. Understanding needs, the heart of every feeling. Here's the magic of NVC. Behind every feeling is an unmet need. Rosenberg says that feelings aren't caused by other people. They're caused by whether or not our needs are met. For example, if I feel lonely, I might have an unmet need for connection. If I feel frustrated, maybe I need more clarity or support. This shifts the narrative. Instead of saying, You're so controlling, we might say. I'm needing more autonomy in this decision. Can you feel the difference? One invites a fight. The other invites understanding. Recognizing our needs and the needs of others is the gateway to peaceful dialogue. Chapter 5. Making requests instead of demands. Imagine this. You've had a long day. You look at your partner and say, "You never help out around here." They roll their eyes. Now you're both angry. But what if you said, "I'm feeling overwhelmed and need more support. Would you be willing to do the dishes tonight?" That's the essence of an NVC request. A clear, actionable, respectful ask. Here's the formula. State the observation. Share your feeling. Express your need. Make a specific request. It sounds like this. When I saw you scrolling your phone during dinner, observation, I felt a little hurt, feeling, because I need more presence and connection need. Would you be willing to put your phone away during meals? Request. It's powerful. It's precise. And it changes everything. Chapter 6. The Empathy Superpower. Empathy is the crown jewel of NVC. But it's not about fixing things. It's about being with someone in their experience. When someone is hurting, we often rush to offer advice, reassurance, or our own stories. But Rosenberg teaches us to just be present and reflect back what we hear. Are you feeling anxious because you're needing more stability right now? This simple question shows that we care. We're listening, and we're trying to understand, not judge. Empathy is like emotional oxygen. When people receive it, they can finally breathe again. Chapter 7. How to handle anger with NVC. Let's be real. Anger is part of life. But Rosenberg flips our understanding of anger on its head. He says anger is not bad. It's just a signal. A red flag that a need is not being met. The NVC process for handling anger looks like this. Pause. Breathe. Don't speak yet. Identify the judgment or thought behind the anger. Discover the unmet need. Express your feeling and need clearly without blame. It's hard, but it works. Instead of yelling, "You're so selfish," we can say, "I'm feeling angry because I really need some help and don't know how to ask." Anger becomes a bridge to vulnerability, not a weapon. Chapter 8. Self-compassion through NVC. We often forget this. NVC isn't just how we talk to others. It's also how we talk to ourselves. Self-judgment is one of the deepest forms of violence we commit. I'm a failure. I'm so stupid. I never get it right. Rosenberg teaches us to replace those inner voices with compassionate inquiry. What need of mine is not being met right now? What am I feeling beneath this judgment? It's like applying emotional first aid to your soul. And it's transformational. Chapter 9. Real-world NVC examples. Let's make it practical. Here are some before and after examples of NVC in action. Scenario. Coworker interrupting you repeatedly. Traditional. Can you just stop talking over me for once? NVC. When I get interrupted, I feel frustrated because I need space to express my ideas. Would you be willing to let me finish before responding? Scenario. Child refusing to do homework. Traditional. If you don't do your homework, you're grounded. NVC. When you don't do your homework, I feel concerned because I want to support your learning. Would you be willing to work on it together for 20 minutes? Scenario. Friend canceling plans again. Traditional. You clearly don't care about me. NVC. When our plans get canceled often, I feel hurt because I value our connection. Would you be open to choosing a time we can both really commit to? Chapter 10. Living the NVC way. Nonviolent communication isn't a one-time tool. It's a way of life. It's how we show up in our relationships, our workplaces, our parenting, our activism, and even with strangers. It's about choosing empathy over ego, compassion over control. As Rosenberg says, every message, regardless of form or content, is an expression of a need. When we learn to decode the message behind the behavior, we stop seeing enemies and start seeing fellow human beings, all trying to get their needs met. Conclusion. So, what would your life look like if every conversation was rooted in empathy? What if your relationships weren't built on fear, guilt, or control, but mutual understanding? Nonviolent communication is more than a book. It's a new language for living, and we've only scratched the surface. If this resonated with you, I encourage you to read the full book by Marshall B. Rosenberg. It's a guidebook to peaceful power, a manual for emotional fluency, and a lifeline in a loud, divided world. Don't forget to like this video if it opened your eyes. Subscribe to AudioBookCAPS for more deep dive book summaries that can truly change your life. And drop a comment. What's one conversation you want to approach differently after learning NVC? Until next time, speak with heart, listen with empathy, and never stop growing.